Ahmed? You ain't gonna believe this, but I'm gonna make a TV star out of you. Just like Archie Bunker. You're gonna be a household word.
What the fuck are you talking about?
30 seconds.
All right, ready, VTA. 1, you have the audience to pan. 2, you have the window to pull. 3, you're on the announcer.
20.
Stand by, VTA.
15, 14, 13, 12,
Ready,
11,
Roll
10,
VTA.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Ready, 3,
4,
stand by, announcer.
3, 2, 1.
3, cue announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. How do you feel? Ladies and gentlemen, the Network News Hour with Sybil the Soothsayer. You love it, and it's the Emma Truth Department. Miss Hannah Hurry and her skeletons in the closets. Tonight, another segment of Vox Populi. And starring the mad prophet of the airways, Howard Beale.
Chairman of the board of the Union Broadcasting Systems, and he died at 11 o'clock this morning of a heart condition, and woe is us. We're in a lot of trouble. So, a rich little man with white hair died. What has that got to do with the price of rice, right? And why is that woe to us? Because you people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. Because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, popes, prime ministers. This tube is the most awesome goddamn force in the whole godless world. And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. And that's why woe is us that Edward George Ruddy died. Because this company is now in the hands of CCA, the Communication Corporation of America. There's a new chairman of the board, a man called Frank Hackett, sitting in Mr. Ruddy's office on the 20th floor. And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force in the whole godless world, who knows what shit will be peddled for truth on this network? So you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to your gurus. Go to yourselves. Because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth. But man, you're never going to get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you that Kojak always gets the killer and that nobody ever gets cancer in Archie Bunker's house. And no matter how much trouble the hero is in, don't worry, just look at your watch. At the end of the hour, he's going to win. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
UBS was running at a cash flow break-even point after taking into account $110 million of negative cash flow from the network. It was clear the fat on the network had to be flitched off. Please note an increase in projected initial programming revenues in the amount of $21 million due to the phenomenal success of the Howard Beale Show. I expect a positive cash flow for the entire complex of $45 million, achievable in this fiscal year, a year in short, ahead of schedule. But beyond that, this network may well be the most significant profit center of the communications complex. And based upon the projected rate of return on invested capital, and if merger is eventually accomplished, the communications complex may well become the towering and most profitable center in the entire CCA empire. I await your questions and comments. Mr. Jensen.
Very good, Frank. Exemplary. Keep it up.
Buy you a cup of coffee?
Hell yes.
You have to get back to the office?
Nothing that can't wait. I drop down to the news studios every now and then and ask how I feel about you. He says you're doing fine. Are you?
Nope.
Are you keeping busy?
Oh, in a fashion. This is the third funeral I've been to in 2 weeks. I have 2 other friends in the hospital whom I visit regularly. And I've been to a couple of christenings. All my friends seem to be dying or having grandchildren.
You should be a grandfather yourself about now. You have a pregnant daughter in Seattle, don't you?
Any day now. My wife's out there for the occasion. I've thought many times of calling you.
I wish you had. You know, I bumped into Sybil Soothsayer in the elevator last week. I said, you know, Sybil, about 4 months ago, you predicted I would get involved with a craggy, middle-aged man. And so far, all that's happened has been one many splendored night. I don't call that getting involved. And she said, don't worry, you will. It was a many splendid night, wasn't it, Max?
Yes, it was.